As a governor, I think I appreciate both sides of the conversion process with the accountant perspective and the governor's perspective. I think the big questions are whether it's purely a financial decision or an educational decision to convert to an academy. Primarily it should be an education one. It's got to be the best for the school, the pupils, the staff and the wider community as a whole, and it shouldn't be solely driven by a financial decision.
In terms of financing, academies don't actually receive any additional income. The difference is that they receive the full income and there's no top slicing taken by the local authority. Academy status also gives schools a lot more freedom in terms of setting their own paying conditions, the length of the term dates, as well as to what extent they follow the current national curriculum. What schools need to look at is the additional costs in relation to services that were previously provided by the local authority, and these may include legal and professional costs, HR, as well as additional accountancy fees.
It's very aware that there are a number of opportunities or options for a school to convert to an academy status. Initially, a lot of the schools went under their own steam and became independent academies. They tended to be the larger schools, the secondary schools. What we're now seeing is the smaller schools where the pupil numbers are probably below the 200 mark, and some of the larger, smaller schools are looking at other options, not least over aspects of financial management, governance and support. In principle, there are probably three main choices. The first being to go alone as an independent academy. The second, to join up with another school and create something what might be called a multi-academy trust. Or the third, which might be called a loose cluster or a collection of schools coming under an umbrella organisation to share some of the common areas in terms of finance and support.
We'd recommend that schools looking at converting to academy status set up a small working party to look at the pros and cons of bringing an academy, and you may wish to consult with local professionals such as solicitors or accountants. What we've found is that a number of schools have previously looked at converting to academy status and decided that it's not the right choice for them. But the agenda really has moved on. A lot of schools are now being forced down the academy route, and there are different structures in place whereby actually they can get more support by being part of a multi-academy trust or via an umbrella trust. And so really schools might want to look again at conversion to academy status.
The decision to convert to academy status ultimately is one to be taken by the governing body. Once that decision has been taken, there are a number of processes the school will go through. First of all, it will register its interest with the Department for Education, at which time they will work through the process of conversion, which in essence requires the school transferring the assets, the ownership of the school, and a number of contracts and the staff into a new entity, which in principle is a company limited by guarantee with charitable status. At this stage is probably when many of the governors will seek the support and advice of external advisors, particularly solicitors and accountants, in supporting them in the decision and the knowledge and process of conversion.
A standalone academy is a separate legal entity, being a charitable company limited by guarantee. Therefore, they need to comply with the Companies Act, the Charities Act, as well as Academies legislation. Being an exempt charity, they're not required to register with the Charity Commission. However, they do need to file accounts with Companies House as well as the DFE. Streets can also assist with the responsible officer role in terms of advising an existing governor or helper in the role, or actually performing the responsibilities ourselves.
At Streets, we're working with a number of school governing bodies, including the head teachers and business managers, on the process of conversion. We tend to find it's best if we get involved early, because whilst our role is to help produce sets of accounts at the end of the first financial year, and we can often help with the process of setting up new financial reporting systems, advising on the general financial management aspects, and a host of general business issues that we've found that the school governing bodies have benefited from our experience and knowledge.
The main role of the accountant is to actually provide an audit opinion on the year-end financial statements. However, our role encompasses much more than that and includes production of the year-end financial statements, advice on VAT, as well as the internal governance of the academy. VAT can be a complex area and is an area which has been rapidly changing in relation to academies. Previously there were VAT grants, however academies can now recover the VAT that they incur in relation to providing education.
To help schools in the process of conversion, the Department for Education makes a grant available of £25,000. In part, this is to help towards certainly the legal costs of conversion, but could also be used to help with the setting up of financial systems through to general changes within the school environment, including branding and signage. So as a token, it is certainly a good gesture of financial support for any schools going through this process at the moment in time.
At Streets, we realised that converting to an Academy status school can bring a number of opportunities but also new challenges, and one of these challenges is becoming responsible for your own accounting records. It's therefore very important to get a dedicated accounting system in place. There's a number of packages available that will do this, and at Streets we use Sage. Sage is capable of both recording the day-to-day transactions but also generating the detailed reports needed. Sage will allow you to record your school's income and expenditure. If the school generates additional income from a rental of a hall, you'll be able to raise your sales invoices. You can record all your expenditure, your wages, undertake bank reconciliations, and generate the VAT returns in the format required by HMRC for Academies. At Streets, we're Sage accredited business partners. This means we undertake regular exams and training to make sure we've got the highest level of Sage knowledge. Coupled with our business experience as chartered accountants means we're ideally suited to advise you on the right software to run your business. We can offer our clients a range of training options, from the very basics for those with no experience of Sage at all, up to detailed reporting level for perhaps directors or CEOs of a larger company. And we always say, don't worry, if your knowledge is not good or you need hand helping along the way, then we can come up and we can do that for you.
A specialist education accountant, Streets are able to advise governors, business managers and bursars throughout the conversion process, as well as a post-conversion leading up to their first year end.